As a part of our Pan-India Roadshow series on Leaders of Tomorrow, we cover all corners of the country. But today we find ourselves in the geographic center point of pre-partition India. We're in the city of Nagpur, where we decode how the Orange City has become ripe with possibilities with respect to its logistics sector. Have a look.
Good evening to all of you. A lot of things happening in the city of Nagpur today. Quite a wet and a rainy day. We also have the Vice President of the country traveling into the city of Nagpur today. Plus you have the LOT event which is happening today. So too many things happening at the same time. So that makes it all the more special. And I'd once again like to welcome you all for this program. So Pooja and Team ET, absolute pleasure to collaborate with you. It's been a while and I'm sure this has to continue for the time to come. Okay, so quickly, last week we saw Morgan Stanley upgrade the ratings of Indian equity markets to overweight from equal weight, and at the same breath they also kind of downgraded our contemporary, if I may say so, from an overweight to equal weight. Well, it's quite a positive outlook for the country. We're talking about relative valuations less extreme than October. We're also talking about multipolar world trends, which is making it a lot more suitable for FDI inflows to the country and portfolio inflows as well. And favorable macros as well as reforms of the country is only making it a lot more better. Certain positives, because of this, we have a brilliant demographic profile, which is a very young demographic profile, and real estate transactions and constructions of infrastructure is taking place at breakneck speed. So that brings us to the presentation for today. The theme of the presentation today, of course, or the day today is more about the logistics hub. And since Pooja introduced me as the managing partner of West Zone on the startup banking unit, you will also have a flavor in terms of how startup banking is doing in the country today, how it is shaping up in the city of Nagpur in the state of Maharashtra. And of course, I will briefly touch upon IDFC First Bank, what we are, what our approach is, and what we want to do for the startups in the country today. Okay. On that note, well, this is a slide. Maybe you could just give an eyeball. I will talk to you in detail about these particular these particular points in the next few minutes. So we all know that the government is a very robust government. There are a lot of new initiatives which are being taken by, it's a very aggressive steps are being taken. We are intending to get the entire ecosystem into one platform. Therefore, there are a lot of initiatives which are being created. You talk about the ONDC, we talk about the CBDC, and both these initiatives, IDFC First Bank takes a lot of pride in partnering or collaborating with the government, because we are one of the first 5 banks. We are working out some really good steps to ensure we reach out to the entire country. We are backed by a very strong Q1 results that you can see. We clocked 765 crores in PAT, which is 61% growth year on year. And we're also talking about an NII, which is a 36% growth. At the bank level, there are a lot of initiatives which we have taken. So one of the basic initiatives, we thought it is very important for us to do away with the archaic ways of banking. So in the savings account particularly, we have seen there are a lot of amount of charges which some of you wouldn't even know are hitting your accounts. So I proudly take the stage and tell you, as far as the savings bank fundamental charges are concerned, we have done away with almost close to around 25 charges, which are absolutely, industry first, I can say. Well, I'm not wanting to comment on any of our competitors per se, but I can surely tell you what we are up to. We have also introduced our sticker debit card, which is called the First Tap debit card, which is also a very new initiative done by us. And of course, there are a lot of collaborations that we do with our partners in the ecosystem, NASSCOM being one of them. And the other aspect is the cash withdrawal, typically which is considered to be a crime if you do it on a credit card. We don't charge you, there's absolutely zero withdrawal charges. We also have a brilliant working capital program for our startups on the growth stage, and we don't mind looking at the funding, even if you are in the pre-profit stage. So these are some wonderful initiatives that we have done. Let me quickly take you through the startup demography in the country today. I was on this stage in October, Ranjit, if I may. October was the time then we both on the stage. And the same figure which you're seeing on the right side, which is 99,000 plus startups, used to be only 70,000 startups. So we're 8 months down the line, we're talking about 99,000 startups in the country today. That is the kind of proliferation which is taking place. We are proud owners of 108 unicorns, valuation of $341 billion. We are talking about almost close to 110 soonicorns who are soon to become unicorns. They are valued at close to around $180 billion. And we are the third largest ecosystem when it comes to startup in the entire country, followed by America, followed by China, and then us. So it's just a matter of time. Maybe in the next 10 years, we would be having at least 250 unicorns in the country. Look at the proliferation. In the state of Maharashtra, we have close to around 20,000 startups, and in the city of Nagpur, we are talking about almost close around, we should be touching 1,000 soon. We are somewhere upwards of 900. So the proliferation, we're talking about close to around 40 to 50 startups which are getting registered every single day. Okay, so the theme, like I said, we're talking about the logistics aspect of it. 14.42% of the GDP is the contribution which is coming from this industry. We are talking about an impressive growth of 10 to 12%. We're looking at hitting a $350 billion 350 billion kind of revenues here is what we're looking at in terms of business. And 22 million people are getting employed in this industry. And this is the kind of growth that we're looking at. We're also talking about why, we have, some time back, maybe a decade ago or maybe 2 decades ago, we had terminologies called just in time. Just in time, you're possibly talking about something that you plan so hard. But here, now we're talking about just in minutes. Okay, so you call that a Q-commerce, you call that your e-commerce, you call that social commerce. We are talking about technology which are breaking paths. We are talking about blockchain. And as future is going to unfold, we are talking about robotic deliveries, and we're also talking about deliveries, drone deliveries. Who could have ever imagined? For us, transportation was only truck, it was only the ships, it was only the planes. But the kind of proliferation that we're looking at about in this industry is just second to none. Some of the startups which are breaking history here, you look at it, these are delivery, we have Ecom Express, we have eCart, ExpressBiz, Rivigo, Safe Express, just to name a few. In the city of Nagpur, I was traveling in today, and fortunately on my cell phone, the screensaver is that of a map. It kind of shows me where my location is. And in the entire country's map, I was right at the center of the country today. So this is a huge corridor that we are talking about. It's a crossroad for north and south, and it is a crossroad from west to east. We are talking about 7,000 trucks. We are talking about 140 passenger trains. We are talking about almost close to around 100 freight trains which are passing through this. Certain great government initiatives which are happening in the city of Nagpur. There is huge demand for market. There is new businesses coming in place. And we're also talking about employment opportunities and growth. I'm sure we have a very esteemed panel who will be talking in detail with respect to this particular department. It only suggests that, this is just a peek that I'm giving you. But at the end of the day, I would like to stop, my presentation here by telling you that we wait with open arms for you to come and bank with us. We try and keep it as simple as possible, because we would definitely not want to give any kind of a products to our customers which we may not want to give to our family. So at the end of the day, you are family, it's always you first, and like Mr. Bachchan said, hum aapki tarah young bhi hai aur friendly bhi hai. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's time for a short break, but more highlights from our Leaders of Tomorrow springboard here in the city of Nagpur are coming up on the other side. So stay with us. Welcome back to our continued coverage of the Leaders of Tomorrow Nagpur Springboard, wherein we caught up with industry movers and shakers to decode how the zero-mile city has emerged into a logistics hotbed. Well, sir, we're going to hold you to the same expectation. We want brutal honesty, all right? So India has time and time again been considered, a global superpower. But the fact of the matter remains that we are still characterized as a nation of savers, as opposed to a nation of investors. Does that ring true?
Absolutely. In fact, instinctively we are 100 रुपया आया तो 10 रुपया बाजू करना है, वो अपना इंस्टिंक्ट है. लेकिन उस पैसे को काम पे लगाना हम लोग नेचुरली नहीं आता है. Generally we are risk averse. That's changing a little on the fringes, but we are generally risk averse. We have not seen ये ना long term habits change होने में time लगता है. You have to see a success story around you.
Yeah.
So this city, as was evident in the previous panel also, that you need role models, you need icons who have been there, done that and seen the journey, who can inspire others. So that is changing at the fringes, but essentially investing, हम लोग naturally, instinctively नहीं है, we are not there.
तो रंजीत, एक बात ये भी है कि जब फाइनेंसेस का डिस्कशन आता है, चाहे क्लोज सर्कल ऑफ फ्रेंड्स हो, फैमिली ही क्यों ना हो, एक हिचकिचाहट है इन डिस्कसिंग इट ओपनली, एंड दैट रियली गेट्स इन द वे ऑफ फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी एंड फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन. सो व्हाट्स द सॉल्यूशन?
There are a few things which we have to get used to. Transparency with your spouse to start with, and maybe with your children also. That अगर हम लोग एक चीज़, let's say eating out, if we can afford only once a month, then let the family know this, that हम लोग एक ही बार मूवी देखने जा सकते हैं. वो 400 रुपए का पॉपकॉर्न महीने या 3 महीने में एक बार करेंगे, हर रोज नहीं कर सकते. तो ये ट्रांसपेरेंसी हस्बैंड वाइफ के बीच में, वहाँ से वो बच्चों के बीच में. तो अगर आप क्लियरली बात करेंगे और पीयर प्रेशर को अवॉइड करेंगे, नहीं तो क्या है कि अभी रेस थोड़ा बहुत हो गया है कि उनके बच्चे क्या पढ़ने गए. आई कैन टेल यू अ स्मॉल स्टोरी. मेरे दोस्त का बेटा who is about 16 years age, वो प्रेशर में he said, मम्मी हम लोग फॉरेन नहीं जाते, हम लोग इंडिया ही घूमते हैं. तो and he was getting stressed out, and his biggest concern as his birthday was approaching, मम्मी आप अच्छा रिटर्न गिफ्ट दोगे क्या, नहीं तो मुझे बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट नहीं करना है. बट ये प्रेशर उसके ऊपर कहाँ से आ रहा है? बिकॉज फैमिली के अंदर ओपनली, transparently, this is what we can afford, this is what we cannot afford, and there is nothing right or wrong. Somebody is making more money or they are spending more money. It doesn't matter whether they are making more money, but ये transparency अगर आप family में discussions करेंगे, suddenly generally क्या हो जाता है कि in most cases the husband in the family takes care of all the burden, and वो प्रेशर लेके कुछ भी बच्चों ने बोला तो करना ही है, बीवी ने बोला, she spending. There are a lot of stories जहाँ पे I know of a family जो किसी बुटीक में गए तो she will have a target कि नहीं, अच्छा ये दे दो, ये दे दो, ये दे दो. कितना बिल हुआ? 60,000. Oh. बस because she had come with a mindset कि मुझे लाख रुपया खर्चा करना है और खर्चा नहीं हुआ तो then she will say कि ओके ये भी ऐड कर दो, वो भी ऐड कर दो.
सर मैं बिल्कुल आपकी बात से सहमत हूँ, लेकिन अगर फैमिलीज़ की बात हो ही रही है, स्पेसिफिकली व्हेन वी गेट टू फैमिली ओन्ड एंड ऑपरेटेड एंटरप्राइजेस, तो सर व्हेन इट कम्स टू कैश बर्न, right, personal cash flow versus sort of corporate cash flow, the lines really get blurred and people find themselves dipping their pen, in both sort of buckets of ink. How is that best avoided?
This is a very common trend or common problem which we observe. I'll take a step back to answer this question.
Please.
Accounting का सबसे पहला principle है which is called as business entity concept, which means the business and the owner, even if I am the proprietor, even if I am the 100% owner of an enterprise, are two different entities. तो business अलग है, owner अलग है. बैलेंस शीट आप बिजनेस की बनाते हैं और इसीलिए कैपिटल जो आप डालते हैं वो बैलेंस शीट में लायबिलिटी करके दिखाते हैं कि ओनर को पे करना है. तो दैट्स वेयर द स्टार्ट इंसेप्शन पे वहाँ से आना चाहिए, नंबर वन. नंबर 2, अगर मैं बिजनेस का ओनर हूँ लेकिन मैं बिजनेस में कोई काम कर रहा हूँ, आई एम डूइंग अ रोल, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई एम द ऑपरेशंस मैनेजर फॉर माई बिजनेस, तो वो रोल अगर मैं किसी थर्ड पार्टी को देता और वो रोल के लिए जो सैलरी मैं उसको एक थर्ड पार्टी को पे करता, इफ आई कैन इंश्योर दैट आई टेक द सेम सैलरी and actually pay that salary at the end of the month, and rest of the money in the business is not mine, mine as the employee. धंधे में कितना भी पैसा आया तो मेरा ही पगार 50,000 रुपए अगर है तो आई विल ओनली टेक दैट एज द सैलरी, आई विल नॉट डिपेंड टू द बिजनेसेस मनी. Just small thing that you will transfer a salary to out of your business every month, and you will not touch. Even if you have had a bumper month where you make a killing and you have made a 25 lakhs profit, you don't go out and spend that money and buy the newest car possible, because that's where the mistakes happen. That's where personal money and the business money gets blurred, and there is no capital available when the business really needs that capital to grow.
Well, sir, you're absolutely right. And when you're talking about commonly made mistakes in personal finance, I think what often comes up is, yeah, it's too much information overload. How do I distill this? How do I make it make sense to me? So, sir, are there certain figures, budgeting ratios, saving ratios, investment ratios? If someone wants to really streamline the process, they don't have the knack for it, where do they start?
They say things should be made adequately simple, but not simpler than they should be. So this is an important, complex question which I'll try and simplify, but ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है कि I will be able to make it एकदम easy, because उसमें थोड़े हर एक के situation के कारण differences involved हो सकते हैं. Number 1, budgeting का number 1 principle है कि सर आप खर्चे पे कंट्रोल रखिए. द गुड ओल्ड इंडियन विजडम कि पैसा उड़ाइए मत अपना. वी आर फास्ट बिकमिंग कंज्यूमरिस्ट, दैट इज वेयर ऑल द ग्रोथ इज कमिंग, बट एट द सेम टाइम हम लोग ज़्यादा लोन ले रहे हैं. तो बजट का अगर आप लोन ले भी रहे हैं तो लोन लीजिए असेट क्रिएशन के लिए, घर लेने के लिए, ऑफिस लेने के लिए, दुकान लेने के लिए, अपने धंधे के लिए. अगर आप लोन ले रहे हैं हॉलीडे करने के लिए तो डेंजरस है. वो ट्रेंड में उसमें कोई लिमिट नहीं है. तो लोन लेना है तो एसेट क्रिएशन के लिए, एंजॉयमेंट के लिए लोन मत लीजिए, ऑल्दो इट इज मेड कूल बाय ऑल द एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स. वैसा नहीं करना है, नंबर 1. नंबर 2, आपका जो फिक्स्ड आउटफ्लो है EMIs का, वो जितना आप मिनिमाइज रख सकते हैं वो रखिए, क्योंकि पिछले 3 साल में हमने देखा कि जो भी एश्योर्ड जॉब्स हमको लगते थे कि यार मैं आईटी में हूँ, बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है, तो देयर केम अ टाइम जहाँ पे सडनली पीपल वेर आउट ऑफ जॉब्स. एंड वी कीप इन इंडिया वी कीप टॉकिंग अबाउट द के शेप्ड रिकवरी, वेयर के में एक पार्ट तो वेंट अप बिग वे, बट जो एसएमईज थे उसमें बहुत सारे एसएमईज का नीचे आया, तो उनके धंधे की वाट लग गई. इफ दैट हैपन्स तो आप अपना कैश फ्लो इम्पैक्ट होगा. और आप देखिए EMI या इंटरेस्ट छुट्टी नहीं लेता, उसमें सैटरडे नहीं होता, उसमें संडे नहीं होता, उसमें रात नहीं होती, वो 24 घंटा काम करता है. आप 24 घंटा काम नहीं कर रहे, तो जितना लोन कम लेंगे उतना आपका 90% ऑफ द प्लानिंग यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छी हो जाएगी. नंबर 2, ये जो पीयर प्रेशर में खर्चा करते हैं, वो खर्चे को हम लोग इफ यू कैन डिवाइड एक्सपेंसेस इनटू डिस्क्रिशनरी एंड नॉन डिस्क्रिशनरी, दैट अगर आप रेंटल घर में रहते हैं तो वो नॉन डिस्क्रिशनरी, वो कंपलसरी पेमेंट करना ही है. या आपके बच्चों का स्कूल फी है, दीज आर नॉन डिस्क्रिशनरी एक्सपेंसेस. बट डिस्क्रिशनरी एक्सपेंसेस, फॉर एग्जांपल आप कितने बार ईटिंग आउट कर रहे हैं, कितने बार मूवी देखने जा रहे हैं, दीज आर अवॉइडेबल एक्सपेंसेस, दिस कैन बी मॉडरेटेड. तो इफ यू कैन कंट्रोल देम, दैट गोज अ लॉन्ग वे इन बजटिंग. एंड इसका सबसे सिंपल फॉर्मूला ये है, हम लोग क्या करते हैं, इनकम माइनस एक्सपेंसेस इक्वल टू सेविंग. मतलब 1 लाख रुपया पगार आई, कितना खर्चा हो जाता है, ये खर्चा है, वो खर्चा है, वो खर्चा है, 80,000 का खर्चा हो गया, 20,000 बचा लिया. नाउ इफ योर सैलरी गोज अप फ्रॉम 1 lakh to 1.5 lakhs, योर एक्सपेंसेस shouldn't move from 80,000 to 120. But typically That is what happens. Now, I will flip the formula over from income minus expenses equal to savings. Let me say if I can flip this to income minus savings. What is the priority? पहले equation में mathematically both are same, but in real life we all know कि ऐसा नहीं होता. 1 लाख से पगार 1.5 लाख हो गई तो हमारा खर्चा 80 से 120 हो जाता है. Can we say कि मैं 20,000 पहले सेव कर रहा था, अब मेरी इनकम 50,000 से बढ़ गई. Can I take it to that I will save the entire money and 70,000 is my savings. So income minus savings and rest of the money I will spend. Automatically, just by doing this prioritization of savings or prioritization of expenses, just by changing this formula, it will go a long way into saying that मेरा saving बढ़ेगा. And that itself is budgeting का बहुत बड़ा. इसमें एक चीज़ और गलती होती है. There are a lot of times when monthly expenses are planned, but lot of expenses of an annual nature.
Right.
Annual shopping है, travel है, गाड़ी का इंश्योरेंस है, तो कभी कोई गिनता ही नहीं है. अरे इस महीने इंश्योरेंस आ गया, या फरवरी मार्च आया तो अरे टैक्स ज़्यादा कट गया, या अभी जुलाई में आपने रिटर्न भरा होगा, कोई आपने शेयर ट्रेडिंग किया था उसका टैक्स भरा नहीं, तो सडनली इस महीने इनकम आया तो वो तो खर्च हो गया, ऐश हो गई उसकी, लेकिन उसका टैक्स आप देना भूल गए, वो जुलाई में पे करना पड़ा, तो जुलाई के महीने में सडनली यू हैड अ स्ट्रेन ऑन योर फ्लोज. तो essentially if we can pay attention to expenses of an annual nature and plan them on a monthly basis also. मुझे दिसंबर में एक खर्चा करना है 1 लाख रुपए का, which is 8,000 per month. तो let me start setting aside, not worry कि दिसंबर में 1 लाख रुपए कहाँ से ला लेंगे देखेंगे. ऐसा करने की जगह if you can schedule that expense, that will also go a long way.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. I'm Pooja Jain signing off from the Leaders of Tomorrow Springboard in the city of Nagpur. We'll see you next time.